Hey guys, so I am going to show you how to make the grid for our next assignment for the monochromatic exercise that we're doing today for our mini lesson. So the very first thing you need to do is just get a piece of blank paper, and you're going to need a ruler, and you're going to measure out a 6" by 6" square. You're actually going to do a 2x2 grid inside the 6" by 6" square. So you take your ruler and you measure. And the first thing I did is I lined it up on my paper, and I went down 2 inches and I put a little mark. And then I did the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to show you here. I go here. Here's my paper, my ruler. See how it's lined up right there at the 0. And I put a mark right there. And then I line my ruler up at the 0 again, and I put a mark right here. Now I'm going to take this. I'm going to line up the lines, and I'm going to make sure that this is straight. And I do that by checking to make sure that the little millimeter line is running perpendicular to that edge, and so that it's at a 90-degree angle. And so now I know that I have a straight line across. And I did the same thing down at the bottom, but I measured down 6 inches from there. So I took my ruler and I measured down 6 inches, and I put a mark on the 7. Now I started this on the 1, and so that's why 1 plus 6 is 7. So I do that, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I put a mark on the 7. Now, a lot of times what you also can do is you can do that in the center too. That way you have 3 dots that you line up. And then I'm going to take my dots. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to make sure that my ruler is straight, and I'm just going to go straight across. Now, you could make it so it was clear over on this side and this side. It doesn't really matter to me. Now, that's 6 inches, but now we have to do 6 inches this way. So this is 8.5 inches. So in order to get it right in the middle, it would be 1 1/4 inches. So you're going to go over 1 inch, and then you're going to go over 1/4, move it over, and here you're going to go 1 1/4 inches, and move it over. You're going to do the same thing over here, 1 1/4 inches, 1 1/4 inches. So now I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to line it up and make sure my angles are straight. Make sure it's all straight, and make sure. And I'm going to just draw my lines this way. Now, if you were going to be doing a major assignment, then you would not draw these lines on either side, okay? You would probably go through with an eraser and erase those out. So you would want to draw your grid really, really, really lightly. But for this assignment, it doesn't bother me if you do that. Now you're going to have to measure out your grid, okay? So you're going to do a 2" You're going to be doing a 2" by 2" grid, okay? So I will show you how this will work here. Okay, you can see my screen. You're going to mark a 2 at the 2 and at the 4. And you're going to do the same thing down here. You want to make sure your line is on the 0 when you mark it. You're going to mark at the 2 and the 4. And then you're going to connect those lines together, and you're only going to draw your lines from your line to your line, okay? In this case, you want to make sure that you start and stop at the right place. Now, you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to come over here, line up your lines, draw it on the 2 and on the 4. Going to go down to this line, line up your lines, go to the 2 and the 4. All right. So I'm going to start, I'm going to make sure my line is straight. I'm getting that right angle. Right angle is 90 degrees. Okay. So here I have my square, and then I have 9 squares inside. Now, like I said, if you want to go back in with an eraser and erase out these lines, you can. You don't have to. It's up to you. So that it's not confusing to you. If you want to do that, you can. Okay, so this is what yours should look like. 2" by 2" grid. You have a 6" by 6" square. You have 9 pieces inside. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to use this to complete the mini lesson activity that we talked about in class today.